I picture some of you like listening to the episode, waiting to hear those clips. Sometimes, like, oh, when are they gonna say like,
so many hermit crabs in my butt?
Yeah, that one.
Sushi jackknife. 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 Sushi jackknife.
Let's try this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm all fired up. Yeah, I know.
I'm here.
I'm not actually all that fired up.
I mean, if I had to give myself a 1 to 10 rating on the fired up scale,
Yeah,
like 3.
sure. We are having brandy, so
I'm a 3
that's nice.
on the fired up scale.
A 3
Yeah, that's 2 better than the minimum.
which is a 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's pretty good.
If you're a 1, are you just smoldering?
If you're a 1, you're like, I'm fired up.
A 10 is like a raging inferno kind of thing.
A 10 is what I assume Donald Trump is like every day when someone changes the channel from Fox and Friends.
He's got to have the shortest distance between fine and completely enraged of any
he
human
has
being.
like a 2 and then a 10.
Yeah.
There's nothing in between. 2 is I'm in bed with a Big Mac. I'm still a little fired up, but I'm maintaining. I'm just chowing down on this fish fillet in bed.
You ever be drinking and fall asleep with a beer like on your chest? I've done that a couple times.
I've not.
And I just have to imagine him falling asleep with a half-eaten, well, let's be honest, a 7/8 eaten Big Mac on his chest.
Well, it might be a half-eaten one because it might be his 4th one. Maybe 3.5 Big Macs is the limit.
Our fearless leader.
I think that if I met a person who regularly ate a McDonald's fish fillet,
Yeah.
I would immediately assume they're the saddest person. I feel like that's the saddest order at one of the saddest restaurants.
It is pretty. I mean, it's not bad, but I know what you're saying.
No one should order the fish fillet and feel good about themselves.
Yeah.
Like, I can see ordering a Big Mac every so often.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, I haven't had one of these in a while. No one should have that reaction to a fish fillet. They should just be like, yeah, I've given up.
Guess I'm eating this again.
Life means nothing.
Happy International Women's Day. Though I'm sure you're not listening to it today because obviously we don't.
You're not.
This doesn't happen in real time.
Happy late International Women's Day.
From two
Just
from two
keep
guys.
it going. Have another International Women's Day on our behalf.
You know what? For all
you-
the shit that you've been through, International Women's Year.
If you know a woman, tell them second International Women's Day is today, and they might enjoy it.
And tell them from us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it might be a nice treat for them.
I think it would be nice. I put my wife into this thing called She Should Run. Have you heard of this?
No.
She Should Run. It's basically a little organization to try to get more women to run for office. Mm-hmm. So,
And is she going to do it?
I mean, eventually,
seat
maybe.
is open.
I heard.
Our mayor doinks people and then has to resign for it. So
Yeah, I guess the doinking happened with a security guard who was getting paid.
yeah.
On like company or state or city, I guess, city trips.
Yeah.
Abroad and around.
And there was a fair amount of doinking on the clock.
Let's be fair to Meg. Megan Barry. I'm sad because I think she was a great mayor, and I'm also sad 'cause she's been through a lot. Her son died.
Yeah.
Was it last year?
Well, that's around the time all this started too.
So you can't,
not to excuse any of it. I've said all along.
Sure.
I don't care.
I don't
about
care
the
either.
affair.
Yeah.
The fact that it did use taxpayer money is an issue.
Yeah. I honestly feel like though she could have just paid that back and all is well.
Yeah, I mean maybe.
Maybe.
It's pretty big gross misconduct there.
I guess so. That's true. And she was She was an ethics professor, I
Yeah.
think. So she should have seen that one coming.
Maybe it was in her moral gray area.
Could have been. We all have one.
Yeah. Like, he has to be guarding me anyway.
Yeah.
Why not, do some things while he guards me?
It's a twofer. I mean, there's no way I'm not safe.
Yeah.
He's right there the whole time.
No, it's
I am sad about it, though.
it's disappointing because she has been a good mayor.
Yeah.
This is the sign she's been a good mayor. We all know Megan Barry is a fairly liberal Democrat.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say. She seems to be.
My conservative parents were bummed out that she got in trouble.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So
That's a.
she crossed lines and then immediately erased all the goodwill.
Yeah. I guess that's probably
She
true.
crossed multiple lines.
Right.
Party lines and also lines that a mayor should not be crossing with their security.
Mayor Barry. Don't go through the tape. Anyway, so now we have, is it Briley? Is that right?
Yeah,
Assistant mayor? Is
It's
that
a
right?
dude.
It's a dude.
Some guy.
Well,
I don't-
there's a lot of Briley stuff around here, so you got to wonder if he's related to those.
I don't know
those
anything
same
about him.
Brileys. I don't know either. But anyway, yeah, that happened.
By the way, welcome to Sushi Jack.
Oh yeah, that's right. Welcome to Sushi Jackknife. I feel like this is because we just recorded.
Yeah.
Because we had a long, not a hiatus, but we missed a recording session.
An involuntary hiatus.
Right. Thank you. Yeah, a short involuntary
Yeah.
hiatus, and now we're back on our regular schedule.
Yeah.
And so this is happening. Like I saw you a couple. I'm seeing you too soon. I think.
Oh, see ya.
Just in this, I mean, I love our get-togethers.
Yeah,
Don't get me
yeah.
wrong. I do. That's why we've been doing
That's
this for
why
so
you're
long.
That's why you're complaining about them right now.
Yeah.
No, I got you.
No, yeah, that's it. But it feels like out of whack because it's a once a week ritual.
Yeah.
and so no, it's.
I mean, don't complain.
I'm not really.
Stop being a whiner.
I'm not really complaining. I'm not really.
I have other things I could do tonight.
Yeah, really.
The Top Chef finale is on.
Come on.
I gotta see what happens.
How could you possibly? You could see that anytime.
Yeah, no, I know, but
This is our special time.
I'm just saying that sometime tonight, Padma is going to crown a champion.
Oh shit, Padma.
Padma's
Okay.
Padma Lakshmi.
I actually know her a
and-
little.
I'm not going to be there to see it.
I don't know her. I know of her.
Yeah,
know
no, if
who
you
she
knew
is.
Padma,
Let's be honest. If I knew Padma, you'd be a lot more enamored with me, wouldn't you?
yeah, oh yeah, you would be instantly way more interesting of a person
If I knew Padma.
if you just in a sentence one time randomly threw out, "Oh
Yeah.
yeah, no, I was talking to Padma the other day," and
What?
yeah.
No, I don't know Padma in the least.
I mean, she's an interesting person. She was married to Salman Rushdie.
Oh shit! Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, she's not anymore.
Oh.
But she was.
Well, that's enough.
That's an interesting factoid there.
That's like a little bump on the life event where you're like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
There's a story there.
Yeah.
Something. Yeah.
And it had to have been when he was in trouble with the Ayatollah.
Must have been.
I mean, wouldn't that have been around the right time? I would
think
assume.
so. I think so. I'll be honest. I don't know a lot of the Salman Rushdie details, but
Oh, he wrote a book and got in trouble.
I know that part.
Yeah, that's pretty much all
Okay.
you need to know for that.
In Iran, I think. Is that right? Is it Iran?
Did he get in trouble in Iran?
Yeah, or with Iran,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
with the Ayatollah.
because it made fun of
Ayatollah.
Islam
Yeah.
in his book.
Yeah.
I haven't read the book. I don't know what he said that was offensive.
Sure.
But then they put a hit out for him.
Oh, that's not good.
Like they do.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. People
A
do
fatwa.
that. A fatwa.
A fatwa.
Fatwa. Yeah.
He had a fatwa on his head.
That's not a thing you want around you.
You do not want to have a fatwa.
I don't think you do.
I would like to go the rest of my life fatwa free.
So tiny bit of news.
Yeah.
I'm excited about this. Our boy Mueller, is, establishing evidence for the old back channel. Sechel's Sitch. I'm excited about that, obviously. And we were just discussing, like, preambling here, unrecorded, about a possible merit of our of our current fearless leader.
I'm sure it's old news by the time anyone's hearing this.
Yeah, probably.
And he may have blown it by now.
Right.
By the time you hear this.
In fact, you could all be dead.
Yeah. It could be completely invalid.
Yeah, I think so.
But it was announced like 2 hours ago.
Yeah, 2 hours ago.
So, according to the story, I'll go all the way back.
Go all the way back.
You recall during the Olympics, North and South Korea meeting.
Yes.
And that was a big deal.
Yeah.
Because North Korea and South Korea do not meet.
They're not pals.
No. Anyway, through this whole thing, Kim Jong-un, passed a note to South Korea to give to Donald Trump.
Yes.
Because he can't just talk to him. They're going with grade school, middle school rules here. It has to be a note indirectly passed by a friend. The note said, "Would you like to meet with me? Yes, no, or maybe?" I don't know exactly what the note said. But he is wanting to meet with Donald Trump.
Wow.
And in exchange is saying he will stop testing missiles.
That's a big deal.
Yeah. Now, I take that with a grain of salt because he's a lunatic.
Oh, absolutely. They're both lunatics.
It takes a special kind of lunatic for me to look at Donald Trump occasionally and go, I mean, it could be worse, I guess. And he's that special kind of lunatic.
Him and the guy in the Philippines.
Yeah. Duterte and him, it's just like they're in a special league of their own.
One, like, kind of murders people willy-nilly. The other, starves the nation.
Yeah. Well, I mean, for good reason.
Yeah,
right?
They had to shoot some shit in the air.
Yeah, that's it.
Big fireworks. I'm talking big time. Damooch level.
So Donald Trump, much to the chagrin of many different people who think he shouldn't,
right,
has agreed to go meet with him.
Yeah.
In May.
Now, I was saying, okay, first of all, the problem with that scenario is our boy is totally unpredictable.
There's a lot of potential problems with the scenario.
It could go real bad. I mean, there's a scenario that you suggested that maybe he's got some, since he had the back channel, maybe he's got some of that secret Russian, like, stealth poison.
They both could.
That's true. They could cancel each other out.
And there's a possibility that it could turn into like a Princess Bride situation too, right, where they're just switching drinks back and forth. I mean, you don't know. You don't know how it goes.
No, and it's a tense moment because, well, there's been a lot of tension. I mean, there's been a lot of words, but the fact, this is what I was saying, and this is probably the only time I'll pay him a compliment. Mm-hmm. The one thing I will give him, Trump,
is his luscious locks.
There's that. Yeah. The one thing, his appreciation for foreign cultures when it comes to their women. Right. One thing I will give him is, dude will sit down with anybody.
That is
and
true.
Have a conversation.
And that's not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, it could be a bad thing.
Yeah, it could be.
Depending on what you say in the conversation.
Right. And if you go to level 10 and, yeah.
But if you start, like, you have to have the conversation for anything productive to happen. In the conversation. If you ignore the conversation entirely and just do, like, the last 3 presidents.
Right.
And just say, hey, stop with the missiles. We don't like it.
We were saying maybe Clinton was the last one to actually meet with.
So. I'm not sure.
Meet with Pyongyang, as it were.
It was not Obama.
Not Obama. Well, and I'm going to I'm contradicting myself here because I'm not exactly. I'm going back to 2008 for a minute. Join me in the Wayback Machine, everyone.
Okay.
Hopefully I put reverb on that. 'Cause otherwise it just sounds like fish.
It was Bill Clinton.
Fish dying. It was Clinton.
Bill
Okay.
Clinton. Yes.
2008, I am about to graduate college. I'm sitting in the basement of the library at college, which was my favorite place to hang out because no one ever came down there. There was a table, there were lights, and there was a snack machine.
You ask for an awful lot.
Right?
Wait, you telling me there's a table down here? Why didn't everyone tell me this sooner?
Hold the goddamn phone. No, like...
This changes everything!
Actually, you know what changed everything? The fact that no one came down there.
Yeah.
That was the great part.
No, I get that.
Yeah. Table, solitude.
Yeah.
And the Coke machine / snack machine, they were both, was a bonus. Because this was when I still carried cash. Anyway, young Justin, about to graduate college, is sitting down there, 2008, listening to debates on NPR. It's like I didn't know the internet was there before, and like NPR and the internet converged for me, and I was just listening to Joe Biden, Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama, I forget who the fuck else, having debates for the primary on NPR. And I remember Barack saying, we can't have this is Iran. We can't have preconditions to talk to Iran. We have to just talk to them because, we don't know what's going to come out of just talking to them, right? I remember him specifically saying that, and I remember myself thinking, that's one reason to vote for this guy. A lot of other people at the table were being like, well, yeah, we have to set some boundaries before we have this discussion. And Barack was like, fuck it, we'll just talk to them.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It makes sense, right? And so this is really weird. I don't think he ended up really doing... I don't know if he ended up doing that or not. I mean, we did get the Iran deal, so that was under Obama.
That's true.
Yeah. So...
And we didn't get in a war with Iran.
We did not
so
get
that's a thing to remember.
Boom. 2008, clear through 2016, no war with Iran and an Iran deal. A lot of people don't like that. Hey, we made a deal.
Yeah.
Great. And in that way, there is the teeniest possible parallel going on with this, unless Trump loses his fucking mind, which is very possible, unless they offend each other and then everything blows up and you guys never hear this podcast because we're all dead.
Yeah.
Which is possible.
But what a way to go, right?
What a way to go. At least they talked.
Yeah.
Do you think, let me ask you this. Do you think Kim could sway that conversation ever so slightly just by having really good Korean tacos on the table?
I don't know about that because that sounds too adventurous for him.
Yeah.
But I will tell you, and I watched, so the it wasn't a press conference, I guess it was a statement.
Sure.
Was made by the South Korean diplomat to the United States.
Okay.
Something along those lines. Someone from South Korea.
Yeah.
And I noticed that 3/4 of the statement was just an ego stroke. It was just a lot of, and none of this would have been possible without the leadership of you. Oh,
us?
Yeah,
The leadership of
Donald Trump.
Of Donald Trump.
Yeah. So if he wants to sway the conversation, it's really not a difficult thing to figure out what you do.
Right.
Just say
right.
nice things.
Say nice things.
Yeah.
Say nice things.
Wow,
Kim.
look at your wife. You must be a winner in life.
Right.
That gets you all you need right there.
You know one thing they have in common?
Sanctions lifted right there.
You know one thing they have in common? They both have unique haircuts.
That's true. Every crazy leader
Yes.
has a unique facial or head, anything above the neck feature to them.
Yes. There's something to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hussein had the mustache.
Oh, yeah. It was... I mean, he's a bad guy.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a mustache, though.
Kim Jong-un has the crazy hair.
Tom
Kim Jong-il
Selleck
had some interesting hair, if I recall.
Indeed. I think it stood on end,
Yeah.
if I remember correctly, yeah.
Bin Laden had the big beard. Very nice beard. Bad person, nice beard. It was a good beard. Castro, beard and hat.
Yes.
He had accessories. Always had to have the hat on.
Oh, absolutely.
Don't know what was under that hat.
The full uniform.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gaddafi, I think, took the cake, though.
Mm-hmm.
Gaddafi with his gold chains and like framed pictures of his family over on his neck.
Oh, man.
Oh, Muammar.
They don't make
They don't.
totalitarian evil men like that anymore. You know?
What's
They broke the mold with that one.
I don't even know what Duterte looks like. Does he have a wacky haircut?
That's a good question.
I'm going to find that out right now.
Oh, I'm sure he does.
Yeah.
I would be, just based on the stories, for some reason, I wouldn't be shocked if he even had like a purple top hat or something. Like he's just wearing Slash's rejects. It's got to be something weird he's got going on above the
Slash's
neck.
rejects?
Yeah.
Like his old hats?
Yeah. The ones that are too beer soaked for anyone else to wear.
I like this idea. I like that. You know what? He doesn't have a weird haircut, though. Every once in a while, it appears he has a penchant for sort of the military Castro-y hat. See that going on?
Yeah.
That sort of beret thing?
I mean, that's
kind of standard
I'll give
fare.
him the beret.
He's got a weird eye. He's got a weird eye situation.
He actually looks like a fairly normal guy.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
You know,
How am I supposed to identify the leaders that are the most dangerous on the planet if they don't all have some crazy characteristic to them?
You know what I'll say, though, about this guy? I think he looks so well adjusted because he gets to do his favorite thing all the time. He gets to do the murdering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, look at this picture. He looks like a tourist
Yeah.
at the embassy of the Philippines.
Yeah, he looks like he's getting his passport picture taken.
Just hanging out like, oh, hey, this is me in front of the seal.
I wore a white shirt today.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Now I'm going to go murder some drug addicts. See you later.
Yep. Yep.
So
It's a hell of a world.
maybe Kim and Trump can just discuss hair.
I hope they bond. I mean, it would be a good thing for the world.
Okay.
For a half a second, yeah.
This doesn't seem as far-fetched as it should.
Yeah.
I think Dennis Rodman should go.
They
And
are pals.
Just be the intermediary.
A buffer.
Yeah.
A wingman.
I'm pretty sure he was on Celebrity Apprentice at some point, too.
Oh, my God.
What if the entire world, just everything in the world, depends on Dennis Rodman? He is the key to world peace. And this whole time, we've all been laughing at him.
You know,
He's in the Hall of Fame. I mean, maybe he's not just great at rebounding. Maybe he's also great at world peace.
they say you don't die until you fulfill your purpose in life.
And that's his purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. It's like 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon, but it's like 1 degree of Dennis Rodman to connect Donald Trump and Kim
He was
Jong-un.
averaging 18 rebounds a game, just so in the future he could stop nuclear warfare.
A life well lived.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying. That's... What more can you ask
Maybe
for?
we should send him up to Russia while he's on a roll. Get him to talk Putin into stopping all the election meddling.
I love it. I love it. Like, hey, man, come on. This sounds like the setup for a joke. A Korean guy, a black guy, and an overweight white guy walk into a bar.
The better setup is a Korean guy, a fat white guy, and Dennis Rodman. Just mentioning
Dennis
him
Rodman.
by name because immediately you're intrigued.
Walk into a bar. And you know what? Fuck the rest of this joke. What walks out is world peace.
Yeah, it's not a joke. It's what we've been waiting for.
It's our current living situation.
Yeah. If I will say, if Trump goes there, and he somehow talks sense into Kim Jong-un, like the two of them are able to cohabitate, and Kim Jong-un agrees to, hey, I'm not going to nuke the United States.
Right. Right.
Like, I promise I'm not going to do that. And he actually means it.
Right.
I will give Trump props. I will give him several of them.
Yes, I will give him props for that.
I mean, it doesn't necessarily negate everything else.
Right.
But I'll give him some props.
He could actually...
It takes him from negative 30
right.
to like negative 28.
Yeah, something like that. I mean, he's the worst president in a long ass time.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
We're not supporting by any means. I mean, none of the values that we hold, nothing. However, if he could get that done, yeah, a couple points in my book.
Yeah,
a couple points.
But
in
I
my
mean,
book.
every president has to accidentally do something right at some point.
Yeah,
I'm sure if we started looking at it, Bush did something right during his presidency.
Right.
He did a lot wrong, but I'm sure he did something right.
You know, Bush?
Yeah.
Bush, we've talked about this many times. I look back with like the salve of time at Bush now, given our situation. Maybe that's Donald Trump's purpose in life, is to let us all feel just a little bit better about the W years.
Well, and I've had this conversation a couple times now. I'm not a Bush apologist.
Right.
He was a very bad president. He should not have been in that office.
No.
He had no business being in charge of anything.
Zero business, yeah. Maybe like a golf course.
Well, I was going to say the Texas Rangers, because he owned them before he was president, but they were really bad. Like, they never won a World Series. So I'm not going to give him that one either.
Yeah.
But the reaction to 9/11,
right.
I don't know how I would have handled that. That's an unprecedented event.
It was.
In retrospect.
It was.
We can go, everything you did there was stupid.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
But at the time, it's like, I don't know what to do.
Right.
This has not happened before.
That's true. I mean, the last time is it true? The last time there was an attack on American soil was Pearl Harbor?
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Since the fucking 40s, man. Mm-hmm. And that,
And that's a very different situation because there's a war attached to it. There's a war
going on.
It wasn't just a random thing.
Right. I mean, but check it out. From that event, though, from 9/11, most of your and my life at this point, I mean, I was 15, I think, when that happened.
Yeah.
It's 2001. Yeah, I was 15. Most of our life, we've had a war on terror.
Yeah. Yeah.
Since that day.
That is where I don't feel that bad for him comes in, because man, you screwed up on that one.
Sure.
None of this has worked out well at all.
I mean, you want to talk about Vietnam versus this bit. I mean, Vietnam was horrible, but you know what I'm saying in terms of going on for fucking ever.
Not to mention, this is a war against a
concept.
It's not. You're not fighting an entity. You're fighting like people who don't like you.
We should really learn from that.
Yeah,
we should really learn that you can't go to war. I mean, we tried it with communism, didn't work.
Yeah.
Now we've tried it with terrorism, didn't work.
Lesser degree, we tried it with drugs.
Yeah.
Oh man, do people still love drugs? Like that didn't stop at all.
If anything, it made it worse.
Yeah.
If anything,
that just caused extra problems off to the side of the drug problem.
You know what the real problem is?
Nancy Reagan.
Well, yeah. Or her tarot card reader, perhaps. Was maybe not tapping into the music of the spheres, if you know what I mean. You can't really have a war on stuff.
No, you can't.
Especially something like drugs that people are always going to do to some degree.
Well, and I mean, I think we can all, especially now, see a war on terror. We went after Al-Qaeda. Yeah, we almost wiped out Al-Qaeda. You know what happened? ISIS.
Right, exactly.
If we wipe out ISIS, you know what's going to happen?
Something else.
Yeah. I don't know what they'll call themselves, but they'll be there.
Let's think about what they might call themselves. Slurpee? That'd be nice. Just for a change up.
I would just like them to be very direct with their next terrorist organization name.
That's a good idea.
And just call themselves the Anti-American Attack People.
Anti...
Like they're anti-American.
And
they attack. Yeah.
AAAP.
Yeah.
It's just one letter off of... It's just one letter off of AARP.
Yeah.
Which...
Yeah. Oh, man, AARP would be so mad.
Can you imagine? If they stole their acronym? Anti-American... riot people?
There we go.
Yeah, there we go. That's it. When did you and I become marketing agents for terrorist groups?
I definitely hope none of them are listening.
Much like Blackwater, it's a lucrative side business.
As much as I would like to avoid a fatwa in my life,
Yeah, you don't want that.
I would also like to avoid helping any terrorist organization or having any terrorist organization come after me. I'd like to be in that middle ground where they don't acknowledge me.
Right. I had a great conversation with my wife this week about having more gray area in my life.
Okay.
This is one place where I'm totally comfortable with gray area.
Yeah.
Not black, not white.
You get too black and white in real life?
I do. Wow, this is a shift.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get black and white. Yeah, I do. Okay, here's an example.
Okay.
All right. I'm recently having a band again, which is great because I've wanted it for a long time. You and I were in a band, and we couldn't keep it going, and that's fine. A band again. It didn't hurt our friendship. It wasn't your fault. It wasn't my fault. It wasn't the other guy's fault.
Life happened.
Yeah. And so I have a band going again, which is something I wanted for a long time, talked about a lot, thought about a lot. And like as soon as it happened, I was like, I kind of want to play by myself some more. And then I was like, I'm just on again, off again about lots of things. And it's nothing, like, they're great. Like, they're really good.
Yeah.
And I feel...
You just hate them.
I just feel super privileged I actually feel super privileged to be playing with people, you know what I mean?
Right.
And they have chops. They're very musical and great and everything. Like, there's nothing to complain about. In fact, I feel really lucky. But, like, there's this, like, contrarian inside of me that's like, anytime one thing, then the other thing. You know what I mean? Like, the opposite of that. And I don't know what that's all about, but...
So are you going to break up the band now?
No. God, no. It's great.
I mean, it sounds like you want to break up
No,
the band.
I don't.
How many of the band
what are you doing?
members listen to this podcast?
One of them has been on.
Yeah.
But I don't think they actually...
Does she know that you hate her and you want to break up the band?
No, let's not do that. Because that's not true.
Right.
None of that's true.
Well, I mean, if she somehow managed to get that one clip of this podcast out of context.
That's true. Which she won't.
Yeah.
Because
Good for her.
I
mean,
own the audio. Yeah.
That's pretty impressive that you somehow managed to listen to 1 3-second clip in the middle of a podcast.
Right, yeah.
Without hearing anything else around.
And I won't put it at the clips at the beginning because it's not.
Why not?
Because it's not funny.
I mean, it sounds like a
Or
good
weird.
idea.
You know, I put the clips at the beginning, right?
Yeah.
And they have to be like a weird.
I'm aware.
Well, yeah, I know. They have to be like a weird statement out of context.
Yeah.
You know, that's intriguing in some way. And I don't know if anyone actually does this that listens, but I picture some of you like listening to the episode waiting to hear those clips sometimes, you know, like, oh, when are they going to say like, the duck guy thing.
When are they going to say, so many hermit crabs in my butt?
Yeah, that one. Yeah. That'll be at the beginning of this.
There we go. You're welcome.
Now you know the context. Thanks for being here.
That's a little bit of how the sausage is made right there.
A little bit.
Well, it sounds like you need gray area.
I do need gray area.
So be gray.
Did I say gray area or great area?
Both.
There's a lot of great area happening.
Get some great gray area.
There you go.
Some grade A, great gray area. Make it happen.
Can you put its IQ on the package?
No.
No. Yeah, what you got?
IQ is a joke anyway.
We established that.
Yeah.
Chickens are stupid. Eat them.
Yeah. So I came across this news story today, and I wanted your take on it. I'm not going to read the headline.
Okay.
Because it gives away the entire story.
Okay.
We'll start with the article.
Okay.
Attorneys across Utah received an unexpected piece of email from the state bar on Monday.
Interesting.
What would you presume is an unexpected Utah State Bar email?
Utah, something about multiple marriages?
No.
Okay.
No.
Is that a decent guess?
No.
Oh,
no.
okay.
I mean, no, it's not. No, not at all.
A new regulation on sand? Just saying, there's a lot of sand there, I think.
No. For some reason, the fact that it's Utah just makes the answer better to me.
Okay.
A picture of boobs.
From the Bar Association?
Yeah. We are horrified, John Baldwin, the organization's executive director, told Fox 13 in Salt Lake City.
Oh, wow.
We're investigating to discover how this occurred. Our goal is to find out what happened and ensure it never happens again.
We're going to regulate boob pictures. See how that one goes.
The email contained the subject line, 2018 Spring Convention Walk-ins. Welcome! Learn how! along with an image promoting the event. Below that was an image of breast.
Naked breasts?
Yeah, this is an edited version.
Wow.
Nipples are redacted in this picture.
Wow. I mean, if I'm the recipient of that, I mean, I'm not being shitty here on International Women's Day, but if I'm the recipient of that email, I don't mind so much. Well, I'm not going to complain.
Here's my thought. I know it's bad.
Yeah.
And it looks bad for them.
Sure.
But we've all had those organizations that we're a part of, that we get email after email after email, and
Constantly.
you just ignore them and never read them because it's infuriating.
Absolutely.
If you start throwing random boobs into them, people might read your email.
That's true.
I
At least open it.
Yeah. Just see what's happening.
I wonder.
No one cared about the walk-ins when they opened that email. They opened it and went, huh.
Right. And boobs,
All right.
not penises, because penises are only going to please a certain number of people.
That's true. I feel like you're going to hit less of your target audience in the law group with
Or
penises.
just I think people, women and men included, would
true.
rather look at breasts, don't you?
I think, and I could be speaking way out of turn.
I mean,
here,
we're both. Yeah.
but I feel like most women, straight or otherwise,
exactly,
really don't want to see
penises.
a penis.
Yeah,
I mean, they might, but
I think there are circumstances.
But I don't think there's like guys. It's always just like, I want to see that. You know, every guy is like that.
Yeah. Every straight guy is
right.
like that, yeah.
Well, I'm sure gay guys are like that too. It's just more focused on the penis.
Oh.
It's just different. But women, number one, are less visual.
Yeah.
And number two,
yeah, it's true.
Just don't. Why? Why would they? Why?
Yeah.
It's not. Why?
Right. I mean, we say this as people who don't understand this, but yeah.
Less
visual is interesting. Were you about to make a point? I'm sorry.
No, that's it.
Less visual is interesting, and it's true. I think that's true.
It's definitely true.
Less visual, and this is one of those. This is one of those things where that must, for men, that must go back to. It's got to be evolutionary. Some of this stuff, though we seek to change it in society, and I think that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Some of this stuff, it's kind of like, oh yeah, if you think far enough back, like you can see where it came from.
Well,
you know what I mean?
There are, if you start looking at things like biological reasons.
Sure.
Men have been attracted to certain different
features,
like wide hips, things like that. It makes sense
because those are easier to make a baby, and then the genes go on, and I think part of it is we're simple. That is also
we're
true.
We're very simple people.
Well, the drives are much. I think the drive is very direct.
Yeah. That's because we dumb.
Well, and that's because
we dumb.
It's because of the testosterone, though.
Yeah, testosterone
makes
make
you
a dumb.
Yeah,
you make a dumb. We dumb from testosterone.
We are. It's true. It's true. It's true.
Yeah,
we shouldn't be allowed to lead things. Really,
no. I feel like this is a good conversation for International Women's Day. Men, as a whole, and I'm including myself, are stupid people. The fact that
I'm nodding.
The fact that like the whole Me Too thing has happened.
Yes.
And there's still guys going, but what about us? Shows how dumb we really are. Like there were people defending, not a lot, but a few people defending Harvey Weinstein.
Oh my God.
You gotta be a real dumb guy to go, yeah, but I mean, he wanted to.
Yeah. It's true. It's true. And okay, this is deep. Can I go deep a little bit?
I'll debate amongst myself while you go deep, and I'll see if
men's
you have to delete it.
rights people.
Yeah.
That's bullshit.
Oh, yeah.
We have the rights.
Yeah.
We've had them for a long time.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the same as the white rights people.
Yeah, we got that.
I don't think
we're
have to worry about it.
We're good. It's everybody else that we've taken them from. Mm-hmm. Yeah. However, as someone said, I think my wife said to me one time, the loss of privilege feels like oppression.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
Well, and if you want to get down to it,
I'm not saying it's the same as oppression.
Well, it is a form of oppression. It's not bad oppression.
It's good oppression.
It's oppression in the sense that you don't get everything you wanted
all the time.
You're getting less than you're used to getting.
Used to getting, yeah. It's
you're
an equilibrium.
Being oppressed in that way.
Right, yeah, right.
You're not being oppressed in the traditional actual oppression way. You're just being oppressed in a I'm whiny kind of way.
And I didn't always see it. I think probably because I surrounded myself with most of my friends are good guys. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You're a good guy. Other friends are good guys. They're not belligerent assholes. Mm-hmm. And
not yet. Anyway. I'm working on it.
Takes time.
I'll get there.
Yeah. Sure, we all will. It's a goal. Just trust the process, Nathan.
Right.
I didn't always see it, but now I see it.
Yeah,
I see it all the time. I almost can't not see it.
Well, have you heard the stories about just like the number of women who have just randomly on the street been shown a penis?
Yeah, I've heard a little bit about that. Yeah,
it's a shocking number of people. I'm never on either side of that that exchange. We'll say it that way. So
you're not the lady.
Yeah.
And you're not the guy being like, hey.
When I started hearing people talk about it, I was like, oh, that can't be like that common.
Right.
And then I kept hearing more people talking about it. And before long, all of Twitter is just stories of women, finding men showing penises places.
Oh my God.
Because we stupid.
Can we get back to the... I mean, okay, we have to modify anything because all the past paradigms are a little fucked.
Yeah, well, yeah.
But can we get back to being gentlemen a little bit? Can we make that a cultural shift?
Well, see, it's interesting that you say that because I've wondered this.
Yeah.
We always have this idea of, gentlemen in the, 40s, 50s, opening doors, etc.
Right. That's...
Were there guys at the same time who were, opening doors and then just flashing?
Wagging their dicks around?
Yeah.
Probably.
Is that what happened and we just don't ever hear about that?
I bet that's the case.
Have we wiped out the disgusting people from the 40s and 50s that treated women terribly?
I think we have.
Wiped them out of history?
Yeah. I mean, really.
Because we were in charge. The men were in charge and we chose to do that.
Oh, absolutely. No, I think...
Because we're gross.
Well, yeah. And, okay, check it out, though. It's 2018 and we just got Me Too.
That's true.
So, absolutely,
and
all this bullshit was happening for a long-ass time.
Not only did we just get Me Too.
We just got it.
But up until 2018, there were women saying things about stuff like this happening.
Absolutely.
And every guy just went, meh.
No one listened. No one was listening.
You start looking at the accusations.
Yeah.
Harvey Weinstein went back to early 90s.
Fuck. That's a good 20-something years at this point.
Louis C.K., all of his were 20 years ago.
Oh, they were?
Yeah.
I didn't realize that, I guess.
Yeah, they were a long time ago.
Okay.
It's happened for a long time, and people have known about it.
Yeah.
No one did anything. Because who was in charge? Men.
Dudes.
And what are men? Gross.
Yeah.
We gross.
Except for the few good ones.
Nah.
The few good ones.
I mean, the few good ones are better.
Yeah.
I mean, as a species, human beings are just gross in general.
Yeah.
No one is not gross. There's just different degrees of grossness.
Oh, sure.
I'd like to think I'm like a 2. I'm like a 2 on the gross scale. I'm not a 1.
You know what? I'll give you I'll give you that too.
Yeah, the
I'll
1 is like, just like the nicest human being on the planet.
Sure.
I'm definitely not a 1.
No, you're not.
I'll take a 2. 2 is good.
Yeah.
I'm not a 10 like Weinstein or Cosby.
No.
Weinstein and Cosby are 10s all the way.
10s.
I mean, if the scale goes to 10, they might be 11. We might bump them up past the scale because you can't quite reach that.
There's a point when the scale just gives up.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about.
If we're grading on the curve, they're the ones who set the gross curve.
Yeah.
They're all the way up there.
They're the standard.
Yeah.
So if you have goals.
Yeah, so I'll be a 2.
Yeah,
I'll
be
take
a 2. The 2's good. 2's good. What do we do? I mean, obviously, okay, there's obvious things we do about it. We try to understand the privilege. Mm-hmm. We try not to be assholes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All of this, the key word there is try.
Try.
Because we're learning.
Absolutely, we're learning. You know what? We're learning as a culture. We're learning as a society.
Not one by one.
No.
Everyone is learning. Like I said, I had no idea about a lot of the stuff because it's not a thing I've experienced.
You don't encounter it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. It's not part of your day-to-day.
I had to learn that was a thing to, care.
I was talking to a woman the other day about being in Memphis and how I like the town.
Yeah.
Despite what I said last time. How I like the town. And she's like, yeah. And I was like, what? And she's like, it's just not a safe place. And I was like, you know what? You have a girl body, and I'm sure it's not a safe place.
Well, and that's something I've learned through this whole thing too. Yeah. I can try, but I can't really relate. Yeah. I just have to listen to what women say. I can't relate to it. I feel safe walking in almost any area.
Sure.
Because
so do I.
What's going to happen?
Yeah.
I mean, worst case scenario, I get mugged.
That is the worst case scenario.
Yeah. And they kill me. Worst case scenario.
That's the
always
absolute worst case scenario. Yeah.
But I mean, it's unlikely.
But they might not kill you because you're like, bro.
Yeah. Hey.
Come on.
Guy, come on,
man.
Look, I gave you my wallet. Just take off, man.
How about them Yankees?
No. So I can't directly relate to any of the stories.
Right. Right.
Because I've never walked in a place and had to be concerned about a guy following me.
Nope. That's horrible, though.
Yeah.
That sounds
That's
awful.
insane.
Yeah.
So
and to do even a friend of mine who you know will remain nameless for the moment. Can't go to a certain burger joint because every time she goes there, the guy hits on her so hard.
That's weird.
Remembers her, says, "Oh, I haven't seen you in a while."
What burger joint is this?
It's a burger joint.
Don't tell me.
It's a burger joint.
Yeah.
And it's not like a chain. It is a chain, but it's a small chain. It's not a McDonald's or a Burger King. It's more esoteric than all that. But she's to the point where she feels like she can't go there because dude won't leave her alone. I mean, overly aggressive, but he's just like super persistent.
As my main point here on International Women's Day, I'd like to say the following to any male listening. If I have to hear one more guy say anything about, well, I'd love to have a woman paying that much attention to me, because I've heard that multiple times.
Yeah.
I'm gonna punch in the nuts.
Yeah.
Just right in the testes.
Yeah.
They're not gonna drop for a while. It's gonna happen.
Because you know what? It's not about that. It's about it's a power thing.
It's not a flattering thing.
No. It's I don't feel safe.
No.
There's all I can do is like care, try to defend myself.
Well, it's the difference between, this is the way I've thought of it in my head.
Yeah.
The difference between saying, you look nice today, and, oh, look at that. Like, that's a very big difference.
It's a huge difference. It's a huge difference.
It's unpleasant for me.
Yes.
It's unpleasant for everyone.
It's unpleasant for everyone. Yeah. So don't be like that if you listen to this.
Any dude listening to this, just like be a good person.
Be a good person.
Don't be garbage. We have enough garbage.
We have enough.
And in our current state of things, the garbage is coming out of the woodworks.
Yeah.
There's garbage everywhere. Be one of the few people that aren't.
Exactly. And you know what? If I can understand if it makes you feel like I've had this thought before, like there's nothing worthy about being a guy anymore because it's just there's so much. But you know what? Like at the end of the day, there are plenty of if you conduct yourself well,
yes,
the standards are, by the way, are super low. I see so many completely average or below average dudes with like amazingly gorgeous girls.
The bar is on the ground at this point.
It's on the ground.
It's, oh, that guy didn't say anything creepy or try to grope me.
Oh, seems like a nice guy.
You're an okay person at that point. That's how sad this is.
That's how sad this is. That is absolutely how sad this is, yeah. The standards are super low.
Yeah.
They're super low.
They should be much higher than this.
Oh, they absolutely should be.
Anyway, all that to say, the Utah State Bar
received pictures of breasts.
They gotta fire that person.
Wow, we got way off. Yeah.
Man, they gotta fire that boob guy.
Oh, absolutely.
I assume it's a guy.
It's absolutely a guy. Yeah.
I could be misconstruing the entire event, but it's probably a guy.
It's either a guy or like a faulty algorithm. That's the only scenario.
What I assume happened, honestly, is a guy was putting together the email and had 2 tabs open.
Oh, yeah. The other one was to his buddy.
Guess who went to the wrong tab?
It's really difficult because you have to go Control C, Control V, and like where that ends up is a mystery.
Lot of control button pushing.
If you're on an Apple, it's Apple C, Apple V. Yeah, who knows? I'm sure in Utah it's a PC though, right? It's got to be a PC.
In Utah, I assume it's a 1998 PC. I assume they're still running Windows 96.
So it took 3 hours to upload the image of the breasts.
Yeah, that was part of the issue. He got bored and didn't want to wait anymore. He's like, I'm sure this one's fine, and just copied and pasted it without waiting for it to load to see what it was.
You know how sometimes you click send even though the little circle is still going because it's like, oh, I'm trying to do this.
Yeah,
yeah,
and you know what it is. Well, he thought he knew what it was. And then every lawyer in the state of Utah opened it up on their iPhone 5. I assume they have an iPhone
immediately.
5. Yeah. And in a matter of seconds, they were able to see those breasts.
And they were shocked.
Yeah.
And some of them were like, wow.
Yeah. I assume some of them went, I might go to this conference now. I wasn't particularly interested.
Get them on the phone. That's a hell of a marketing plan.
They say they take walk-ins. I'll be right there. state of Utah.
I mean, the fact that it happened there is even better.
Well, and that's what the part I enjoyed. If it happened in New York or someplace, you'd be like, yeah, okay, whatever. I kind of want stuff like that to happen in all of the overly conservative
Absolutely.
states.
Yeah.
Because I don't like Texas could use some stuff like that. Oklahoma,
Yeah.
just to
Kansas.
make people go, wait, what? Whoa.
Yeah. Certain parts of my home state of Georgia, absolutely.
Yeah.
Anything outside of Atlanta, really.
Oh yeah.
Because
It's driving through Georgia.
Athens.
It's shocking because you're like in a hillbilly town everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Until all of a sudden,
You're in this giant metropolis.
yeah, all of a sudden you're in Atlanta and no hillbilly in sight.
Nope.
It's a mega metropolis.
Oh, they're
area.
afraid of it, the hillbillies.
Oh, I'm
by the
sure.
way. Oh, they do
I wouldn't
not
go there if I was a hillbilly.
go to Atlanta. No.
If I were one of the hillbillies in Georgia, I wouldn't pass Stone Mountain on my way to Georgia. It would be terrifying.
Here are the cool towns in Georgia: Atlanta, Athens, Savannah,
Okay.
the islands, all the islands, or any of the coastal cities. Augusta. Mm-hmm. Rome, just a little. Rome's cool. I like Rome.
I
Rome's weird.
have not been to any of these but Atlanta.
Well, you haven't had a reason to. You didn't live there.
Yeah.
So,
And I probably won't. I mean, you never know.
Is there a liberal bastion in Kansas?
The area I was from,
Kansas City-ish.
yeah, well, it's the suburbs of Kansas City.
Okay.
Liberal-ish. Like we had Democratic representatives.
Okay.
But I mean, it wasn't like liberal. It was like, oh, there's a balance of people here.
Yeah, right. Like temperament.
and the Democrat that was elected was one of the Blue Dog Democrats that's fiscally conservative.
Sure. Socially
just-
liberal.
Yeah, he just is like, I don't hate gay people, and they're like, okay, we can deal with that, I guess.
You're not going to raise taxes? You promise? No gay taxes?
That's really all we care about.
All right. I mean, that's kind of what we're dealing with here, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. The term Dixiecrat is fun.
Yeah, it scares me. I don't like it.
Yeah. Well, it's got Dixie in it, so it's...
Instinctively, I don't like anything with the word Dixie.
You shouldn't at this point. You really shouldn't.
It never ends well.
Yeah. The old Georgia flag, the state of Georgia flag, Georgia flag, before they changed it, made it nice and like blue and stuff, was 2/3 Confederate flag.
Classic.
A big chunk of it, and then it was the state seal on the other third of it. And, it never occurred to me. Didn't occur to me. I don't think they changed that shit until like 2009 or something.
I
2009.
I don't want to go on a rant.
That's,
I just don't, and will never understand it.
we'll never understand it.
I may have said this on the podcast multiple times because it drives me nuts. There's not any other war where you get done with the war and people start flying the flag of the loser of the war.
Yeah.
Just, and not like flying it, but like, oh, this is the best flag that's ever existed.
Oh, yeah.
It's culture. It would be, I was saying this the other day to my wife. It would be like having all these statues and stuff. Would be like if someone in Boston put up a statue of Benedict Arnold.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
It would.
pretty close.
It's analogous. It's analogous. It's absolutely not. Can I throw...
It's our history. We can't forget it.
Oh, it's important. Heritage. Can I throw one more little thing at you?
Yeah, go ahead.
This came up in a random conversation with my wife this week. According to BBC.com, Huffington Post, National Geographic, there are butterflies in the Amazon who ride on turtles.
Okay.
Guess what else they do? Why are they riding on the turtles? Transportation? No.
I don't know. In my head, I have a butterfly
Yeah.
with reins on a turtle, pulling the reins, and that's how they ride them.
You're not too far off.
Yeah.
The butterflies ride the turtles so that they can drink the turtles' tears to achieve and ingest necessary nutrients that they don't get in there.
That is some symbiotic relationship
That's some shit,
right there.
right?
Wow.
That's some shit. Butterflies riding on turtles to drink their tears.
Not to mention, who knew the turtles in the Amazon were that emo? I mean...
Can't you just picture the butterflies being like, hey, did you see that picture of a dead puppy? Showing it its phone. Just turning it to him like, look at that shit. Look at that. It's pretty sad, right?
The butterflies just pull out some Bluetooth speaker and get Dashboard playing on their phone.
That's it. Dashboard Confessional.
Have Bitter Pill playing, and the turtles just start weeping.
I mean, how much do the fucking turtles cry to supply the necessary nutrients for the butterflies?
I'm going to be honest. One of the most amazing parts of this is I did not know turtles could cry.
I didn't either.
I assumed that wasn't a thing.
Me too.
I mean, I haven't put a lot of thought into it.
Yeah.
Because why would I spend that much time thinking about turtles crying? But if I had to put money on it, definitely would have put money on turtles have no tear ducts.
I mean, I kind of feel bad for Leonardo, Donatello, Raphael, and Michelangelo right now. They just got butterflies in their face all the time.
Do you think there were scenes in the Ninja Turtles cartoons that they just cut out because they're like, the turtles are too emotional right now?
Oh, absolutely.
Like they're crying.
Yeah.
And we need them to fight. That's what they're here for.
That's what they're here for. When Master Splinter gets killed in one of the movies, there were all these monarchs just waiting in the wings, thirsty.
Every time they defeat an enemy, there's probably a crying break. I feel bad about how this whole thing went down. Couldn't we have talked this whole thing out?
So many foot soldiers.
Trump can talk to North Korea, but we can't talk to him? Why?
Is that the real reason he's going? He has to drink Kim Jong-un's tears.
It's, he, after his physical, his doctor put him on a new diet.
Yeah.
Because he's a fat tub of lard. Part of it is dictator tears.
That's it. You're missing some necessary nutrients. Turns out, one place in the world you can get those.
The sodium content in Kim Jong-un's tears. Perfect. Exactly what you need.
Sushi jackknife.
Sushi jackknife.